that says a tiger does not proclaim its tigerhood, it bounces. He said, atatunyorosha, tutaheshimiana is true. Tumeheshimiana. I mean, it's there. He never even went there to Olkalau. And I didn't go either. I left it to my young boys there to deal with that by-election. He was full of bravado. He was breathing fire, saying, tutanyorosha, huyo mwanaume ataniona, ikimalizika tutaheshimiana. I said, yes. But I told him, a tiger does not proclaim its tigerhood, it bounces. Of course, he's very embarrassed because he talks with a lot of bravado. But it's okay. I've heard the President William Ruto says, yeah, in 4 years, yes. Sisi ni engineer. And we shall allocate him work as a fundi. You know engineers design, yeah? Engineers design and supervise construction. Yeah, ni mtu ya kufanya. William Ruto today, if you ask him, before we parted, I had a very long sitting with him for 4 hours outside State House. We sat, the two of us. And I was convinced that he was overrated. When I listened to him, I believed he was overrated. And I did give him political advice. Because he had started betraying the mountain, deceiving the mountain, and persecuting the mountain. And I did advise him as his deputy. I told him, Mr. President, I'm your advisor. I helped you to be president. We have come a long journey. I can see the route you are going. And the consequences will be very disastrous politically. I say the people of the mountain hate betrayal and they hate deception. And if you betray the people of the mountain, they will abandon you and they'll fight you. Please don't. He argued with me. I told him, you yourself, William Ruto, you are a beneficiary of the mountain's distaste for betrayal. When the mountain perceived that President Uhuru Kenyatta had betrayed you, they punished Uhuru Kenyatta and made you president, just to show that they don't like betrayal. And you are not one of them. Please, don't betray the mountain. You will regret. He told me, I have 35 years experience. You are one-term MP. I had him repeat that the same day. You can teach me nothing about politics. I told him it is true. I don't know much as you do. But about matters the mountain, I know more than you do. I told him, you are a builder, and I see you building a lot. You like building. If you have a house you have built, along the way you get more money and you decide to modify it, you go ahead. If you find you made a few errors, doesn't have enough light, you do. You can change the roof.
Kurumisha ndege. Aviator instant game. Be a daring pilot and earn by how much high you can lift the plane. The higher you fly, the higher your win. The sky is the limit. Mozart Bet.
Come with me on a journey that will blow your mind. We're going back to a time when accounting was done with, well, sand.
Do we have your attention? Good. Get started at udemy.com.
To destabilize his own government. And I told him, if you touch the foundation of your government, you will not have peace until the general election. I went further to tell him, if you touch the foundation of your government, the mountain, you'll be a one-term president. What happened in Olokalau is exactly what I told him. President William Ruto took projects in Olokalau for 14.5 billion. 14.5 billion. He took a train, he took 2 boats, he took transformers, he graded roads, he took shoes, he took mattresses, he took gas cylinders. He did everything you can ever do for a society, until the neighboring constituencies started asking God whether he could take their members of parliament so that they can also get goodies. He spent 1.2 billion Kenya shillings in cash. But the people said no, because he betrayed the mountain. And the people of the mountain hate betrayal. And betrayal in the mountain has no remedy. Once you betray the people, it's over. Again, on top of betrayal, he started persecuting the mountain. He started sending goons and police to attack churches. The people of the mountain are Christians. And in fact, why he gained favor with them is because they are basically Christians. He was in church every Sunday. And he warmed himself in their hearts as a Christian. He was in church every Sunday with the Bible. He would sing our songs. He would talk Kikuyu. And people said, for the first time, the Church of Christ has a candidate. They elected him because of his connection with the church.
Okay.
The day he sent goons and police to attack PCA Mwiki Church, the day he sent goons and police to attack PCA Kariobangi, the day he sent Nairobi Sierra Squad, headed by Madira Member of Parliament Eric Wamombi and his wife Betty Maina, to kill people inside church, that is the day, whatever little chance there was that he could recover after betraying the mountain, that was it. And then, of course, thereafter, with Moses Kuria and Kimani Ichung'wa, anytime there is a problem, he would send goons to destroy businesses belonging to the people of Mount Kenya. And they took it very badly, because the people of Mount Kenya are basically business people, and they are very protective of their wealth and their businesses. When William Ruto decided to persecute the mountain, and any time there was a crisis in the country, he would take advantage to punish the mountaineers and destroy their businesses. That was it. And again, finally, deceiving people. You know, these mountain people are business people. When he came with the bottom-up economic agenda, telling people, I can lift you from the bottom of the pyramid to up. I can help you when you had a kiosk to own a supermarket. The whole philosophy was very attractive to the mountain people, because basically that's who they are. They are people who like to rise from nothing to something.
Okay.
So when he came with that agenda, it was very attractive. Only for people to realize it was a con, it was deception. There was nothing like that. He said he would put people money in the pocket. The little they had, he took it away through taxation. So this all Kalau, it's just a culmination. They actually sending a message to him. Let me tell you, this decision was made a long time ago, in 2024. But it's been getting worse, especially when he attacked the churches. It got very bad. When he attacked businesses, it got very bad. And of course, adding insult to injury, when he started abusing the community and saying it is tribal, despite the fact that they voted for him when he was not one of their own. They defied President Uhuru Kenyatta, their own son, and voted for him. And when he realized there is a resistance for the mountain, he went on top of the car in Nyanza, elsewhere, saying these people are very tribal. That was an insult to a community that has a lot of pride, a community that believes in itself, that felt that they made him president, they assisted him. He not only betrayed them, deceived them, persecuted them, turned against them, but he's also abusing them as a community. So all Kalau, despite spending almost 16 billion in one single constituency, I can tell you in Olkalau, my brother Rogers, there were 7 cabinet secretaries, 16 principal secretaries, 42 chief executive officers of prostitutes.
In by-elections. And just to And just to check you,
6 issues.
You lost Mbeere North through the Democratic Party. Perhaps, how would you build momentum from this one win to replicate it
behalf of
across
the people
the 10
of Kenya
counties. And
have
equally,
proven
when you
to
hear
the
people
country
saying that it was a
that William
battle
Ruto's
between
dirty money
the
mean
Defenders
nothing.
Jubilee Party
That you
and
can
the
come
DCP
with billions and
had
bribe
nothing
people
to do
be
with
elected.
UDA.
That's
How do you respond to that?
people of Kenya know
Those
now
are sour grapes.
that the billions William
One,
Ruto has stolen
If it was a battle between
cannot
Jubilee and
bribe
DCP,
the people of Kenya to
what
vote
was
for
the
him.
government doing
That's
in
why we are
Olkalau
celebrating.
with the
Because
16
money
billion
is
shillings?
bad. And
What were they doing
and
there?
People are fearful.
If what
that
Aden
this
Duale
man
is
has
saying-
stolen too much,
Aden Duale is
he
just a
can use it
newsmaker.
to bribe pure people.
He's a fellow who did not even give President
give him
William
back
Ruto
the presidency.
7,000
The
votes.
fact that the people
He
of
is
Kalau
coming
have
to
been
set the
bribed
courtesy of the mountain
with
people.
1.2 billion
He should not
shillings.
abuse the mountain.
And the deception in Olkalau was bring a trade, bring boats, bring transformers, bring roads, and cheat the people that you are working for them. The people asked, why are you not doing it in the neighboring Kipipiri constituency? Why are you not doing it in Kinangop? Why are you not doing it in Oljororok? The people saw through deception.
Okay.
So one of the greatest issue we are celebrating is that the people of Kenya now have the capacity to see through William Ruto and how deceptive he is. So that we are celebrating.
Allow me to cut you short, because at the end of the day, I have to bring in what happened in Mbeere North.
No, allow
When the
me, because you have asked the significance why we are celebrating.
Yes.
Just allow me to give you why. And
Okay.
it's not just a win, it's a win for the country. Number 3, people have been fearing that William Ruto can steal an election. And Kenyans have been asking us, you people, one-term people, will vote for you. What will you do to stop William Ruto from stealing the election? Kenyans have been very scared. In Olkalau, the people of Olkalau have shown that you cannot steal an election. The people were there, defended the election to the end. They tried to bring in stuffed ballot papers through police. They were stopped by the people. They tried to bring people pretending to be illiterate so that they can mark for them. The people said no. So it's a great victory that Kenyans will go and vote and protect the vote. That is a great victory. That is one of the things that we are really celebrating, you know?
Yeah.
And it's important. Number 3, we are celebrating that Kenyans cannot be intimidated by goons and police. There were 2,000 police officers, 4 platoons of the General Service Unit, 4 platoons of the Anti-Stock Theft Unit, 4 water cannons, hooded police goons with the AK-47 assault rifle and M16 automatic rifle, intimidating the people of Olkalau to stop voting, and the people said no. They stayed in the polling station. They were searching police vehicles. They stopped the police from entering polling stations to steal the election, to interfere with the counting. They barricaded polling stations with rocks and logs and actually stopped the police and government from stealing an election. That is why we are in a celebratory mood, and this celebration must go on because Kenyans were fearful. Today, Kenyans are calling me from all over. Can we come to Olkalau and benchmark on how to protect the vote? Voting is not enough. That's what Kenyans are saying. We have known from Olkalau that voting is not enough. And then now you can ask, I'll tell you now about Mbeere. If you can ask me about Mbeere now, I have the answer for you after what I've explained to you. So we are not, William Ruto should know, we are not celebrating one win. We are celebrating the realization that you cannot steal an election in this country. We are celebrating the realization that police cannot intimidate voters. We are celebrating a realization that Ruto's dirty money means nothing in this country. We are celebrating the realization not this Had we won in Bere with a small margin, we would have relaxed, thinking that we will have a free and fair election, and Ruto will have stolen the general election. The Bere election taught us that you must protect the vote. It was stolen before our own eyes. One, all women and men who receive cash transfer were intimidated by chiefs that if they don't vote for the UDA candidate, they will lose their money. And because chiefs are influential, they believed it. They were all chaperoned to the polling station, and they were instructed to say that they don't know how to read and write, and somebody marked for them.
Assisted
voters.
Okay.
6,500. They were forced, they were intimidated that if you don't vote for UDA, you will not receive your money. And for us to make sure, when you go to the polling station, you must say you don't know how to write. So they were assisted. That we learned. We corrected that in Kalau. One, we had a message to the old people. Cash transfer is your right. These are public funds, and they are voted for parliament. Nobody can take it away from you. The chiefs should not intimidate you. First, we educated the old people. They had. Number two, our agents refused anybody to be assisted as a voter if you have signed your ID. They checked the ID. If you put your thumbprint, then they say you be assisted. And you will be assisted by one person at a time. In Bere, one person was there to assist 200 voters. So we were able to cure that. Number three, in Bere, they gave people money, deposit, 5,000. And then they were told, when you go and vote, you photograph the vote, you come and collect the balance.
It's supposed to be a secret ballot.
That is it. So in all Kalau, we demanded that nobody will be allowed to take a photograph of the ballot because of the secrecy, the sanctity of the ballot. That was honored.
Okay.
Number four, in Mbere, police and goons attacked polling stations led by CS Rocco and stuffed ballot papers in 4 polling stations when it's dark. So in this one, we made arrangements. In every big polling station, we had 500 men, young men, to make sure police and goons do not overrun the polling station. In every medium polling station, we had 300 young men to make sure police do not overrun the station. In every small polling station, we had 200 men. We were able to stop the police and government from overrunning the polling station to staff. So I'm saying, we lost Mbere because we did not know what Ruto had put in place. So in Olokalao, we corrected all that was wrong in Bere, in Malava, in Murwa Dikir. We had an opportunity because we participated in those elections. And that's what I'm saying now. My message to the people of Kenya: William Ruto will not steal the general election. We have perfected voter protection in Olokalao, and we're asking everybody to come to Olokalao to benchmark. I am willing to set up teams from Olokalao, as many as 40, 50 teams, where we are requested. They go and educate our other Kenyans on how to protect the vote. William Ruto was hell-bent to steal this vote. In fact, at one time, when they realized that they are losing the vote, they connived with the chairman of IBC, Mr. Ethekon, who threatened to cancel the election if there is violence. And because there was no violence of any meaningful magnitude, government planned that weekend to cause violence so that Ethekon can postpone the election. We were too smart for them. We avoided all meetings. I told Governor Irogo Kangata not to go to Olkalau. I kept away myself. We denied them an opportunity to cause violence to postpone the general election. My message to the people of Kenya is that voting is not enough. You vote and protect the vote. We now have a template to share with the rest of the country on how to protect the vote, because it has been done successfully when there were plans and real intention. Very practical program. All those police goons you saw there, commando style, shooting like in a movie.
We'll get to that in a few. Yes.
Yeah, they had come actually to steer this election. The sheer will of the Kenyan voter, I am so amazed. And that's why I'm in celebration. The resilience of the Kenyan voter, the sheer bravado to protect their democratic right is something we must celebrate for a very long time.
And I hope this was done within the law, because once you vote, you're supposed to be outside the polling station 400 meters away from
It was done outside the polling station.
No police was manhandled.
Nobody was, all the policemen who are inside the polling station were very nice, very professional. The IBC officials, the POs, the deputy POs, the clerks, perfect. The returning officer, perfect. Our issue is the commissioners.
Let's talk about this IBC then, because many said that it would be a litmus test for the commission in how they'll be conducting this all-Kalau by-election. Yet we saw Kenyans come out to protect the vote, perhaps due to that deficit of trust. So as we inch closer to the 2027 general election, are we dealing with a neutral arbiter from where you sit? Can they deliver free, fair and credible election?
They cannot deliver free and fair election. Kenyans will have to come in. The IBC failed to protect the voters. As we speak, 2 people were killed in Ol-Kalau by rogue police officers. Zakaria Gakunya Mukora from Huhoine, Rurie Ward. James Muigai Mwathi from Mobi polling station in Kaibaga Ward. And I want to take this opportunity to send my deepest condolences to the families and friends. I'll be going tomorrow to Ol-Kalau to bury these 2. And I have directed that the responsibility of burying these 2 goes to the community. They'll be buried by the community. I have said the families should not put a shilling or anything. They died in defense of the dignity of the community, and therefore they will be buried by the community. IBC, up to today, has not condemned these 2 deaths. Up to today, the voter suppression that was done by rogue police officers sent by Mokomen to Ol-Kalau, IBC has not condemned. There was violence for 6 hours, even against the uniformed police officers, by these rogue police officers. Up to now, IBC has not condemned it. There was wanton bribery for 2 months. IBC never condemned this bribery, never took action against cabinet ministers and PSS who are bribing people. It is clear the IB commissioners are on the side of William Ruto. But the beauty of it is that the election officials at the grassroots were very professional. Okay? They conducted a very free and fair exercise. It's only that there was voter suppression. Many people from Ol-Kalau, over 20,000, were denied the right to vote because of violence, not by goons, not by the people of Ol-Kalau, by police who are armed and hooded. The IBC did not protect. How do girls who have been defiled by police go to police to report police? And you don't bother. Okay. What they have done, they have gone to private hospitals, they have been treated and gone home. Because how would you report police to police? As we speak today, there is evidence that the vehicles that brought the armed goons belong to the Kiambaa Member of Parliament, John Kawanjiku. Today he has not been arrested. The policemen who caused mayhem in Ol-Kalau, some senior police officers have called me, and they are very disgusted that the National Police Service have been transformed into a criminal gang by the CS called Kipchumba Murkomen. And they are frustrated. They are frustrated because when they went to Kiganjo, when they went to Embakasi, they were trained to protect Kenyans. Yeah. They were never trained to attack Kenyans. But Murkomen has transformed the National Police Service into a militia. As we speak, because these officers who have been attacking people, they are the ones who attacked the church in Wetima, ACK. I took the evidence to the IG, their photographs and their names and videos. Instead of being prosecuted, they were promoted and given more responsibilities and given more sophisticated weapons. They were deployed in Olokalau. The photographs are there, the videos are there. Now that they have been exposed, instead of being arrested and prosecuted, very senior police officers have called me. They have actually been transferred. One miner who is bodyguard to Bete Miner has been taken to Kilifi. One Malonga has been taken to Bomet. One Kyoko has been taken to Maba Police. One Murangeri has been taken to Turkana. One Meguna has been taken to Kwale. The senior police officers are asking, this is our country. How did we reach here? That the police who are supposed to protect the people of Kenya, the police who are paid by the public to protect them, the arms that they carry have been bought through taxpayers' money to protect the people of Kenya. Murkomen has created a militia within the National Police Service to harm the people of Kenya. As we speak, 2 people are dead. Not a statement from the National Police Service about these 2 deaths. Women have been raped. These people created mayhem. They had 4 platoons of GSU. They had 4 platoons of ASTU. They had 1,000 uniformed police officers, but they were helpless because this criminal gang had been sent there by Murkomen to cause mayhem. The police are saying, please, remove this government from power next year. In fact, most of the information that I have is from the police. They are embarrassed. They are asking, how come we were trained to protect the people of Kenya? We are paid to protect the people of Kenya. How can it be Murkomen has deployed us to hurt Kenyans, to kill Kenyans, to rape women, to maim innocent people, to disrupt the election? Now these people have been transferred, and they have only been transferred because they have been exposed. I am told as we speak, Murkomen has picked a new squad. It has been taken to a training base in Moyale to come and take over from what this group was doing. So what we saw in Olokalau, we have seen nothing. We have not seen the last of it. And I can tell you from where I sit, if Kipchumba Murkomen will be the CS Interior as we go towards the election, there will be civil war in this country. There will be anarchy. Because now people know. You see, why people defended Olokalau, they saw it in Bere. What people have seen on Olokalau, Rogers, you want to tell me there are Kenyans who are going to wait and expect William Ruto to steal the election? And you know this was an election of one candidate. There will be presidential candidates. There will be people defending the votes of Rigathi Gachagua. There will be people defending the votes of the governor. There will be people defending the votes of the senator. There will be people defending the votes of the member of the National Assembly. There will be people defending the MC. And there are multiple candidates. We have 50, 60 aspirants in candidates in one polling station. All of them will mobilize to protect their vote from Ruto, Murkomen, and goons.
And I'd like us to hear...
They'll arm them. Let me tell you, when police come armed with the guns, do you expect Wananchi to go and face them with the bare hands? Because we are saying the right to self-defense is there in our laws. And because William Ruto has made and coordination of state terror, the people of Kenya will get prepared.
And I think the logical question would be how to avoid such a scenario.
How to avoid such scenario?
Hold on, briefly, because I'd like us to hear from the lastly mentioned, President William Ruto directed security agencies to intensify operations against goons and organized criminal groups across Kenya. Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen, I think it was just this Sunday, said DCI is into those armed, masked individuals. Just listen and then we'll get the right of reply. Briefly.
Every sector of society, the business leaders, religious leaders, political leaders, have all agreed that having lawlessness, goons and all these other characters, criminals, should be stopped. Now that we have a consensus, our security agencies must do their job. Within the law, they must do their job and they must stop criminality.
Kulikuwa na watu walionekana huko Olkalau, walikuwa wanaleta vurugu, walikuwa nani? Mimi nataka nitangaze kwa taifa ya kwamba DCI wa taifa la Kenya, Director of Criminal Investigation, tayari amefungua faili ya uchunguzi kujua kwamba ni watu hawa ni wagani, walifanya makosa gani na waliumiza watu gani na kwa nini walikuwa pale, ili wachukuliwe hatua ya sheria. Mwisho watakapomaliza, ule DPP atapelekewa file na hawa watachukuliwa hatua ya kisheria. Mimi nataka kuwaomba Wakenya, kuliko tu kusema kwa mdomo, mtu yoyote mwenye ako na habari aende kwa DCI office karibu, apeane habari hiyo.
Okay, so using goonism, rogue police officers as a response to political competition, will it stop after the president's marching orders? Is there goodwill to deal with this issue before we slide into anarchy?
It will not stop because William Ruto is being deceptive. The challenge of Kenya is not goons. It's rogue police officers under Murkomen. The way to stop lawlessness is to sack Murkomen because he is the cause. These are police officers who are there. They are under him. So he is asking us to give him what information. Instead of arresting them, the way transferred. So you are just transferring a problem.
So NPS is not independent.
In the prosecution of 12 police officers, 2 members of minor. William Ruto stopped that prosecution. He is actually the problem. John Jogona Kawanjiko is an ally of President William Ruto. All those police killer squads that were in Olkalau, all of them, one group was under Charles Karondo, the chairman of Communications Authority, who wants to oppose Dede Nyoro in Kiharu. The other one was under Dennis Itumbe. The other group was under Betty Maina and Eric Wamombi. These officers are known by name. Their photographs are there. The videos are there. So Murkomen is asking people to report what? When William says that it has been agreed we stop lawlessness, he is a problem because the man he has appointed as CS Interior is the one who fed these goons. He is the one who was funding the police officers in Olkalau. They were staying in a hotel called Royal Garden. He is the one who was paying the bills. They had Prados. State of the art. You saw the Prados.
Documented them.
Yes, they are documented.
Yes.
So these 2 men, William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen, thinks Kenyans are fools. You know the way William Ruto deceived the people of Kenya in 2022? He still thinks Kenyans are there. He used to say that there is a shortage of fools in the country. I want to remind him, there are no fools in this country. The problem of insecurity in this country is being caused by government itself. And even goons have become very embodied because they work hand in hand with the police. In Olkalau, we had police goons who had arms, and we had the ordinary goons. The ordinary goons were being protected by the police, and were all working together. The only problem that is there, and William Ruto must know, and Murkomen, when you grow criminal gangs, like in Haiti, because these goons you brought in Olkalau for the by-election, now that it is over, you paid them for those days, they must continue eating. That is why you saw goons stop vehicles on Thika Road for 2 hours and steal from people valuables, because they have been working with the police, so they are embodied. And can you imagine, Rogers, where these goons attacked motorists on Thika Road?
Police station.
Pangani police station is 100 meters. Muthaiga police station is 80 meters for 2 hours. They terrorized motorists and the people of Kenya, and there was no police response. In Wetima, where we were attacked, we were rogue police officers for 2 hours. and police did not come. The other day, some investors were there at Carnival. They were attacked by goons. Their jewelry was stolen. Their watches were stolen. They lost their money and their phones. Police did not even show up. So when William say that they must bring an end to this goonism, the only way we can believe them, one, they must arrest the people who attacked Mweki PCA Church, take them to court. They must arrest, take them to court. They must arrest the police officers and the 2 members of parliament who attacked Wetima, take them to court. They must arrest the members of parliament who are in Olkalao, Dennis Itumbe, Charles Karondo, the police officers and the goons, because Mukome knows them. He is the one who paid them. He is the one who organized it. So telling us about DCI, that DCI is a joke. I have seen a letter when Albert Ojwang died in Central Police Station. DCI saying that he knocked his head against the wall. You have seen the CCTV footage. He was killed by policemen. Does this DCI have any credibility? Can anybody depend on the DCI in this country to investigate anything? In Olkalao, the DCI himself called the local DCI commanders and told them to keep off and allow these rogue police officers sent by Mukome to do what they want to do. Even the county commissioner himself was tear-gassed by these police officers. So the problem is William Ruto, Kipchumba Murkomen, Raymond Omolo, and DCI Amin. They are all partners in crime, and they cannot pretend that now there is a problem of goonism. The issue is not even goonism, it's police goons and police working with the goons to terrorize the people of Kenya. That's why I'm saying, as I wind up, if this Kipchumba Murkomen will be the CS Interior, if Raymond Omolo will be the PS Interior, he's the one who has been organizing goons in Kisumu and Kakamega. They have divided. Kipchumba Murkomen is in charge of goons for Nairobi and the mountain, where they are having resistance. These goons are sent to areas where William Ruto is being resisted. Raymond Omolo has goons to deal with Nyanza and Western to deal with leader Mwananchi Sifuna and group. And the goons in Nairobi and the mountain, they are supposed to deal with Gachagua and DCP. If this Murkomen is the one who will be in office, there will be anarchy in this country. Because what will happen, Rogers, and rightly so, people will not accept a stolen election. People will not allow William Ruto to come back to power through fraud and through an election. The people of Kenya will say no to intimidation. They will say no to goonism. They will say no to police brutality. And the people of Olkalao have shown that a determined population can withstand police with guns, with grenades, and that is what will happen. So it's upon William Ruto. The remaining time, he can do nothing about the economy. The economy has gone to the dogs. The education sector has crumbled. The health sector has crumbled. Nothing is working in the country. One thing he can do for the people of Kenya, because they made him president, much as they are through with him and they want him to be one term and he'll be one term, there is one thing he can do to this country: secure this country. I heard him today complaining about Khartoum. Oh, Khartoum was a very good town, now it's in ruins. That's the route you are driving your country. How can he talk about Khartoum, that it is in ruins? He is setting the stage for Khartoum. Because, Rogers, once people lose trust in the National Police Service, the men and women entrusted to protect them, once people lose trust in the capacity of government to protect them, once people conclude that the government is the one killing them, the government is the one persecuting them, people will take up arms and defend themselves. Because
you know
it is
such a scenario, Mr. Gachagua.
But it's not me. It's not me.
True.
The honors is on William Ruto, because when he became president, I was there with him. He took the Bible and sought to uphold the Constitution. He sought to defend life and property. But he has decided to kill Kenyans. He has decided to injure Kenyans. he has decided to fight the very people who elected him, especially the people of Olkalau, the people of this mountain. They are actually very bitter because they are very bitter because they elected him. They elected him to protect them. They elected him to bring prosperity. They elected him to bring sanity in their lives. They elected him to make the economy better. But they feel so betrayed. They are so bitter. They are so angry that instead of protecting them, he has actually decided to harm them, to kill them, to make life impossible for them, to touch their property, to send policemen with guns to kill them. Why on earth would a policeman on duty be hooded? Because they don't want people to know them. Why would a policeman go with an unmarked car? And we are asking, Murkomen thinks Kenyans are very stupid. He is saying that we need to know who are those people, what were they doing there. There were 2,000 policemen. There was 4 platoons of GSU. There was 4 platoons of unstock theft unit. If it was normal crime, they would have stopped it. But they did stop it because they had instructions to let those police goons do what they had come to do.
Okay, your point is across, and you've been on record previously mentioning about, is it 101 trained police officers?
Yes.
Is this the same unit?
No, the 101 police officers was trained specifically for abductions and extrajudicial killings. They are the ones who abducted and killed the agencies, and they were all from the administration police, trained to kill, to abduct, and to conceal. And that is a group by Murkomen. That is a special group by Murkomen to deal with the politics. Murkomen brief by William Ruto is to make sure he is re-elected through goonism and violence, and to suppress anybody who has a different opinion and who does not support William Ruto.
What does that say about the National Police Service? Who's the puppeteer? Because it seems it's been captured. It's supposed to be independent.
Is a flower girl. He's very frustrated. He told a friend of mine that he could even resign because he does not know what goes on in the National Police Service. He deployed people, and he did a good thing. But I warned him. I said, I don't think you know the instructions. To inside job, he deployed GSU just in case there is problem. He deployed ESTU just in case there is problems. But Murkomen sent another, overpowered what IG had deployed, and they were told not to interfere with the activities. He's a very helpless man. He's a man from my village, and I have told him to consider resigning because he will be the most disgraced head of police since independence. That the police he heads has become a goon police. Goons are part of the National Police Service. They go in the same vehicles. He is the head of police that attacks citizens. I mean, it must be a very painful thing to Douglas conscience that the people that this man, he will do what I want because he didn't have papers. It was even challenged. Then the president organized for him to get some fake papers. Douglas Kaja has a fake degree, so the president holds him hostage. And I think what is happening is that the president will want to keep Douglas Kanja up to the election so that Murkomen can do whatever he wants within the National Police Service, and then Kaja can be blamed. That is exactly what is happening.
Okay.
You know? And Kaja is helpless because I don't think if he resigns, the president will go for him. I think you just have to stay there, allow Murkomen and Omolo do crazy things within the National Police Service, kill Kenyans, injure them, try to steal the election, and then the blame mistaken to IG Kaja when things behind his back. In fact, Murkomen works with his tribesmen. He's called Eliud Langat. You know, evidence is now being given that it is DIG Langat who ordered that man to be tortured.
Well, it's a case before
it's
the
going
courts.
on. No, but
yeah,
it's
so
there.
sub judice. I know you know.
But it's going on. It's going on.
Yes.
You know, this is public information.
True.
It's actually crisis in the National Police Service. Is that Kipchumba Murkomen is running the National Police Service through Eliud Langat outside the command of the IG. But the IG, because he is held by William Ruto because he has a fake degree, he cannot talk, he cannot say anything. He's a man. Okay. He's a man in agony.
Rigathi Gachagua. Hasn't verified those claims. But as we continue, there's an attempt to are done in the country. I'm sure you reports KNCHR, the Attorney General's office, developing a bill that is seeking to regulate peaceful demonstrations following that Kisumu court landmark ruling that tasked government to develop, publish clear legal operational regulations governing public assemblies. Are we over legislating despite the problem being police and non-compliance to the rule of law?
All those bills will be thrown out by the court because they go against the Bill of Rights. You know, any legislation that is inconsistent with the Constitution is null and void to the extent of that inconsistency. The 2010 Constitution has the best Bill of Rights, and the right to picket is there in the Constitution. There is no way we can suppress the right to picket. In fact, we don't have a problem. You know, I heard the president saying, oh, the problem, people are arrested, they are released by the courts. The people who attacked Wetima have not been arrested and taken to court. So, Mr. President, what are you complaining about? The people who attacked me in Limuru, they have never been arrested. The people who attacked Sifuna in Kakamega, in Kisumu, they have not been arrested. I don't think the issue is the courts. The issue is the infiltration of the National Police Service by William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen to quell dissent and to suppress freedoms and to kill democracy. I think that is our challenge. Our challenge is that William Ruto has decided to use the criminal justice system to deal with his opponents, to make sure that they have no space, and to force what he wants to the people of Kenya using the National Police Service. But when I listen to the police this afternoon, I'm a very happy Kenyan. The police have told me they will not bugger the election, and they will not take illegal orders. They will do what is right. The beauty about a general election, Rogers, it's not like a by-election. You know, by-election, you can send 2,000 police officers to one station. You can send a wrong police unit. We have more than 50,000 polling stations in Kenya. Each polling center needs 2 policemen. They are not enough. You have to add the prisons. You have to add there will be no policemen to cause chaos in the general election. Even goons will be in their home voting and defending whoever has paid them. Every goon will go to his place. There will be no, you know why Olukalau was stifled? It was the only election. All goons from the country were taken to Olukalau. All wrong police officers were in Olukalau. All members of Party were in Olukalau. But during the general election, Betty Minor, who has been causing chaos in the region, will be struggling to be re-elected in Murang'a. She will be fighting for her life. Eric Wamumbi will be in Madera. Kimani Ichung'wah will be in Kikuyu. Kila mtu atakuwa kwao. William Ruto will be struggling to see how he can be re-elected. He will not be available to assist anybody. All these ministers and PSs were in Olukalau. Kila mtu atakuwa kwao. What I'm happy about, these officers who are in uniform were very professional. The county commissioner, the regional commissioner, they were very professional. In fact, most of those officers were really irritated that policemen are attacking Kenyans. They are attacking voters. So my own comfort as a Kenyan, when I talk to the police, 95% of the National Police Service will observe the rule of law. 95% of the senior commanders will give the right instructions, 95% of the National Police Service, the rank and file, will disobey illegal orders. I can tell you. And since William Ruto will be going home, and you know these policemen also live in this country, you know it's not that they are strangers, they are also listening to the ground because they stay there in the police post, they stay there in the police station. They also know, the police are telling us, they also know there will be change. So I don't think on the last day of Ruto's presidency, any police officer who is aware of what the ground is saying will agree to suppress the will of the people, will agree to take illegal orders to try to preserve a president whose fate has been decided by the voters. To me, when I saw the clerks are good, when I saw the POs are good, when I saw the returning officer is good, when now I have reason to believe the policemen will keep law and order, I trust we'll have a good election, and any attempt by William Ruto to cause violence will be resisted by the people of Kenya. Any attempt by William Ruto and his people to try to steal the election will be resisted by the people of Kenya. I'm so persuaded.
Gachagua, now that you've told us that police is not beyond reproach, your critics say that perhaps it's now that the shoe is on the other foot that you're calling them out. They'll take you back to photos you used to post during the late Raila Odinga-led demonstrations right after the general election. And I'm pretty sure you remember the captions to ensure that peace and tranquility is of utmost importance even while these protests were happening. Lives were lost during that particular protest. Did you use the police service personally?
No. We never sent police goons to attack the people of Kenya. Men sent specifically to fight the people of Kenya. You know, as far as I know.
So
you know,
who were they fighting, if not the people? Because lives were lost, sir.
Well,
in the police brutality.
In demonstrations, lives were lost, and it's very regrettable. And you are aware, probably you know, that one of the things that made me and William Ruto differ was the killing of the Gen Zs. If you remember, during the 25th protests when Gen Zs were killed, and William Ruto issued a press conference and called them criminals and treasoners. The following day I called a press conference, I said they are not criminals, they are our sons and daughters. My record is clean in matters human rights, in matters the rule of law. I have been, you know, I was a security officer myself. I'm a trained paramilitary officer. I have served in the security sector the better part of my younger life, and I really believe in the rule of law. That's why I'm very irritated and actually very, very offended that people trained to protect life and property can take away life.
Gachagua, we have 1 minute.
Yeah.
We have to talk about this issue of goonism, because at the end of the day, there are those rogue police officers, but we have disenfranchised youth who have been excluded from decision-making tables and hence are taken advantage by politicians to cause mayhem or to attack their competitors. At the end of the day, how do we deal with goonism with finality from where you sit?
Let me say that goonism in itself is not a very serious challenge. No goons can sustain attacks on people because people will say no. Why goons have become a problem in this country is because they are working hand in hand with the police. So they give them cover so that when the goons are overpowered by Wananchi, the police open fire. You know, I went to Gatundu for a church and Moses Kuria sent goons to attack me. They were dealt with by the people, but police came to rescue them. So it makes the goons to become very embodied. You know, if police decided there is no goonism, even if politicians hire goons, it will be very short-lived because it will not be allowed. I don't think Wananchi will allow goons to create mayhem because people will defend themselves. And goons who are not armed with the guns cannot be a threat to people for a longer time. So if the police decided, if the president decided today to abandon goonism, to remove Murkomen from office and get somebody sober, and if he really wants his tribesmen, he has many people who are good, people with proven track record, people of good credibility and people who have served this country with distinction. among the Nandis, among the Psigis, among the Marakwets, among the Tugans. You know, if he wants another Marakwet like Murkomen, they are there, and we know them. If the president makes the decision, because the buck stops with him. Murkomen, all these things doing, he cannot do it without William Ruto. Because William Ruto can see there's a problem. When people are shooting on top of a Prado, like in a movie, it was like a movie. Even Ruto has seen those videos, you know, and there is no war, and the people are not armed. These are innocent voters. And then police with rifles on top of Prados, moving at a terrific speed, shooting everywhere. And William Ruto is trying to pretend that there is no problem.
Okay.
You know, he's pretending there is no problem, saying that the problem is courts. Oh, when people are arrested, but nobody has been arrested. All these people who caused this mayhem on Onkalao, they are still free. In Wetima, they are still free. So what we are saying is, the first step to deal with the Goonism is to rein in Kipchumba Murkomen and Raymond Omolo. The second step is William Ruto to allow the National Police Service to operate independently and return the command to the IG and ask him to follow the Constitution, to follow the police orders, and to follow the Penal Code, the Criminal Procedure Code, the Evidence Act, the three documents that guide the police operations. If William Ruto today decided, but the buck stops with him, by the way. It's all about William Ruto. Even this Murkomen, it's not him. He is just an appendage of William Ruto. William Ruto is using him. The decision to end Goonism, and it's not by issuing a statement in State House. That was the fifth statement in 1 year. He has said, oh, goons must be dealt with. They continue. Oh, goons must be. And everybody knows, in fact, the police are saying he is a problem because he is. The senior police officers are saying, can we get back the command of the National Police Service to the Inspector General?
And if that happens, we'll be able to find, which rarely happens.
Yeah, it will be done.
Okay.
Allow
us to take a short break.
Like Murkomen has been trying to say that we are the ones who have the goons. We would have been arrested a long time ago if these goons were from the opposition. We would be in prison.
So you don't have goons?
I cannot have, because if I had, they would be in prison. Why the goons are there is because the government. That is why nobody can touch them. That is why nobody can arrest them.
We have the bills to pay. Top of the hour news is coming up next. But this conversation is getting started, as they say. A lot more to talk about in terms of all. And perhaps what's the way forward for the united opposition? He's been in a 45-day, 36th day. Is there white smoke? But equally, what's their agenda? Remove Ruto, what next?